Glamour.
Grit. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour. Grit.
Welcome to the final episode of this season of the Glamour and Grit.
Really, it's kind of just a holiday break. You know, we're going to be coming back after the new year at some point. We don't have a date this second, but it's not going to
But
be
we
long.
know we're coming back, and it's going to
Yes.
be quick, and it's going to be even bigger and better than ever.
So we started, it's crazy because people keep asking me, it's like, oh, it's your second year of the podcast. No, it's been 1 year.
I know. That is actually very weird.
2 seasons, 1 year.
We're kind of like school. We do like a first semester and a second semester.
Yeah, but everyone thinks it's like, oh, you just finished your second year. Like, I feel like we've been doing this for so long.
I know. We actually started, was it last February or last March? Into February.
Something like that. But 20-something episodes first season, 20-something episodes second season.
Yeah.
Then we'll be jumping into the third here in a little bit.
I just want to inform you today, I am feeling like a baddie.
You
That
look,
is, Eric.
this girl, you know, she's known for her outfits now. It's like become this thing, which is unfortunate for us because that means her closet is constantly being rotated and there's boxes and clothes
Thank
being
you,
sent to
Hell
our
House.
house all day long, every single day. But today especially, she's been on a 10. She pulled up to pick me up in front of the house this morning, blaring early 2000s rap. Mama had her glasses on. She's like, put me courtside at the Lakers game right now. Like, I am feeling myself.
I really would be a phenomenal wag wife.
I mean,
I mean, look at the pinstripe. I am wearing Louis Vuitton, which I couldn't even tell you if there's ever been a brand that describes wags. It's wags is wives of professional athletes is a Louis Vuitton. I am feeling like Kim Zolciak. I have got my golds on. I am feeling good.
this is the definition
of a wag.
of the glamour and grit. I am wearing the same jeans I have worn every single day
Yep.
for the last probably 5 years. I've got
And-
like 3 jeans I rotate. My gray ones, these are my go-to slim blue
Yep.
ones. And then like the third pair could be a variety of
I would
maybe-
say it's your ripped ones. You love a good rip.
Yeah, in the
jean.
spring and summer, it's the ones with the rips. But that's it.
And oh my God, you're wearing Stockyard Supply.
No, I'm not.
No surprise.
When did this happen?
I cannot wait for
the next
a-
line to drop.
Yes, because I have seen this sweatshirt and this hat way too much.
Well, we've got our spring line that's going to be dropping.
So guys, season 3 will be sponsored by
Yes.
Stockyard Supply, the entire spring
But
collection.
today, after this podcast, we go to our big meeting
Yeah.
to discuss the lineup for fall of 2025. So what worked in 2024, what didn't for our lineup, what do we want to add to the collection? Selfishly, I'd really like to put some beanies in there because you know me, I love a good beanie.
Yeah,
And
but
Carhartt,
oh, you mean for like the fall, not for the spring?
no. Today's meeting is to discuss what items we want for fall of 2025.
Oh yeah, I love a beanie.
A Stockyard beanie would be sick.
So,
But am I the only one that wears beanies?
Yeah, actually, Mick wears a beanie.
Carhartt kills it on their beanies.
Who's Carhartt?
The country, they're like a workers brand. Carhartt. All my
Oh.
beanies are Carhartt.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's the little logo. They're like a work because I'm not like a blue collar workman, but that is blue collar workman.
Wear a great beanie.
My jackets are Carhartt. The one we styled our bomber after was kind of loosely
Yeah.
styled off Carhartt. They kill it in that atmosphere, but they're known for their beanies. They're trendy. They're cool now.
Yeah.
And I think a Stockyard beanie would be sick.
I'm so down. Whatever you'd like to do, I am down to do it with you.
Jean jackets.
Okay, it's not a
Okay.
Stockyard meeting, but thank you so much. They all want to hear about it. I really actually can't get over my look. Do you know the new song, like, I'm a baddie. She's a baddie with a baddie Fran and it says the Beatles.
No, I don't, but that sounds so TikTok to me.
I think it is viral on TikTok. And that is how I feel. I think 2025, I want to be slightly baddie.
Did you see the TikTok of they're cutting like they're doing like a wrapping paper in between the doorway and like cutting a hole and putting their dog's head in it?
Okay, did you see Lily? your
Yeah, I saw.
sister?
Yeah, my sister did it, but
Okay, I did not know that was a thing. I saw it on Instagram. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I've seen it all over.
We
online.
have to do. Ralphie would never. He would be
I
terrified.
thought you were gonna say let's do it with like our kids' faces instead. Like,
Oh, we should.
kinda
That
be
would be
funny.
so much fun. No, so my parents took the kids to this thing called Prairie Lights, which if you haven't been, go. It's the coolest, best thing in
typically
the entire
we
world.
go at least 3 times a Christmas.
I know. We've been so insane. Oh my God, I just burped on air. I brought a Diet Coke. I have not had a Diet Coke.
Wait, Prairie Lights.
Sorry, Prairie Lights. Mick is the funniest effing person I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, just to say real quick, because I thought you were, Prairie Lights is this epic drive-through / carnival
So, like, even if your
light
kids are-
Christmas
Yes.
light show.
So if your kids are even sick during the holidays, you can all get in the car with jammies. You don't have to get out of your car.
No,
which is,
you drive through. And it's got one of those really cool like light tunnels that you drive through, and like
so
the lights
cool.
are going all around you, and the kids
Mick
love
says,
it.
the lights are eating me.
But if you're in the DFW area, Prairie Lights also, if you want to get out of your car, and you can still do this in your pajamas, there's a whole carnival in the middle of the drive-through. So there's rides and roller coasters and carnival food, and Santa's there to take pictures.
Funnel cakes.
It's
And a little walk around. There's like a walking outside, like a small little walking outside show too. To
it's
like
a
stretch your
Nelson
legs.
approved go-to Christmas activity for the whole family.
It's truly my favorite thing in the entire world to do.
So anyway, your parents took Mick and Momo last
yes.
night.
And what did Mick say in the car?
They're-
Oh yeah, he goes,
they're-
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was
About the
entering
lights.
the light tunnel, and he's like, "That's what I'm talking about."
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, then 2 nights before, we went to the Polar Express at the Omni Theater, which the new Omni has opened.
The new Jane and John,
Omni Theater
yes,
is
is unbelievable.
it is
I forgot their last name, so I was like, Jane and John Justin is the last name. Jane and John Justin Omni Theater.
okay. And who is named like that? That is my dream come true.
It's
An
incredible.
alliteration.
It's incredible.
Jane and John Jetson.
Justin.
Jetsons.
But
Jets.
what I remember from when you first introduced me to
Mm.
Fort Worth, Texas, back in like 2012, is this
2011.
Omni Theater. This Omni Theater. It's like in like a snow globe, and the whole screen's around you, and it's 8K. It's the
Is
most
it really 8K?
8K. Yes, it's the most unbelievable theater experience you can have in your life. They brought it back.
It is. No, I really have never in my life. We went and saw the Polar Express. Christmas spirit happens in that place. And they're also doing like Animal Kingdom. Jane, the gorilla lady. What's her last name? Jane Goodall?
Gorilla Lady?
Yeah, didn't she have like the gorillas?
What?
Like she talks like she rehabilitates gorillas.
Who? What?
Isn't that her name, Jane Goodall?
Oh, maybe. Yes. I don't know about
I think
gorilla
though-
people, but
No,
yes.
it's like she is infamous for that.
Okay.
Like she helps gorillas and talks.
And what does she have to do with the Omni?
Her movie's there. She's a
Oh,
documentary.
cool. Oh, yeah. It's like nature movies.
Yes,
and like
nature.
the
It's
things
so
you would
sick.
go like to an IMAX to experience, they do it in this, and it's at the Fort Worth History
Science
Museum.
Center, yes.
Science Center. It's so cool.
It really is the coolest. So we go and see Polar Express. Mick cannot get over the man on the roof of the Polar Express. Remember, he actually is called, because I looked up his IMDb, it's Tom Hanks, but the character is the hobo. I don't like to say hobo. I just feel like
Yeah,
that's
he's
a
like the
derogatory-
mythical guy
But
that
it
lives
is
on top of the
hobo.
train
So
that the kid runs into.
the next night, we go to the Grapevine Railroad to do their version of the Polar Express. And I got these tickets back in August, and I am so excited. I'm like, this is Mick's moment.
Another Nelson Certified approved Christmas activity. Go to Grapevine.
Actually, anything in Grapevine. Grapevine, I should be a sponsor of Grapevine, or this should be a
Do you
sponsor
know
of
it's
this podcast.
listed as Texas as a whole, Texas's #1 Christmas city?
Of course it is. It should be #1 all the time. Grapevine Mills Mall. We rep Grapevine so much on this podcast. If I ever moved outside of Fort Worth, it'd be Grapevine.
Go ride the Polar Express in Grapevine. It's such a great Christmas.
It's amazing, but you have to get tickets like within 2 minutes. So I got the tickets back in August. So we take Mick, if you saw on my Instagram. So Santa comes into our, what do you call it? Your railroad.
Train car.
Your train car. I should know that.
It's a coach.
It's a coach. And Mick goes, that's not Santa.
I only know because of Mick.
That is not Santa. That is not Santa.
Oh,
not
God.
Santa.
Yeah.
Not Santa. That is Santa from the ceiling.
He was calling this guy out so hard.
Y'all,
So hard.
because this Santa, like for my mom was like, it was not that bad. But to Mick, I can see it. Like I
Mick's
could
3 years old. at this age, you're supposed to be able to tell a 3-year-old, hey, that is something, and they're supposed to believe it.
Yeah.
But he is way beyond that.
No, and you can't tell him because he is right. That wasn't like the Santa that you pictured. That was not Santa.
But the funny part is, it didn't look a lot like Santa that we know. But the best part is, not only did he know it wasn't Santa, but he said it's the hobo from the top of the train in the Polar Express movie.
And so then the next day, I sent the videos to his teacher. And so, of course, she had to ask him about it. And he knew the other kids were in there. Well, he wasn't going to take away the magic for the other kids. And so Jill, his teacher, goes, so, Mick, I heard you met Santa. And Mick goes, yeah, but he was the naughty one, the one from the ceiling. And I'm like, I just love that he actually knew, like, not to call it out, but to tell her that wasn't the Santa.
The best part is when he realizes, like, oh, yeah, no, this dude is not Santa. He calls him over and he looks him in the eyes and he's like.
And y'all, our kids believe. It's not like he doesn't believe in Santa.
Oh, he believes in Santa.
It's that, like, that's not.
This guy didn't really look like
Santa.
But he was saying he was Santa. So Mick calls him over and starts the interrogation process. Looks him in the eyes. He's like, hey, where are you from? He's like, the North Pole, of course. He's like, well, where's your reindeer? He's like, on the roof. He looks back at us. He's like, I pinky promise that's not Santa. Like, without fail. Like, didn't waste a second. I pinky promise that's not Santa. I felt so bad. Like, because, you know.
I don't think we even said, no, that's not Santa. We were just like, Mickey, like, don't ruin it.
Oh,
for the
no,
other
we
kids.
tried to convince him, but he wasn't having it.
No,
and Molly
pinky
Morgan
promise.
leaned back and whispered in my ear, and she's like, Dad, I know it's not Santa.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
So, yeah, that's what we had to experience. It was so fun. I am so in love. I just wanted to say, I told my best friend, I had a call with her the other night. And I feel like if you're that mom in pregnancy or like early first year of their life, it really does get so much better. It is so hard. At least for me, like the newborn age, I don't do well with like postpartum. Just, it gets so much better and so fun. And every moment is spectacular.
Oh, it is. It is. But now it's like, okay, what do you do in situations like this? Like, what's going to cause them to, like, you know, like Mick was absolutely right. It didn't look like Santa.
Yeah.
He was trying to convince us that he was Santa, but we all know it wasn't. And Mick got it right. But yet we're still like, oh, no, of course it's Santa, Mick. Like, what do you do in that situation? Do you, like, try to convince your kid that, like, clearly this guy isn't, but yet you want him to still think? I don't know. I was puzzled and baffled and didn't know what to do.
Becca told me, because we talked about it last night, she was like, I always say the real Santa is in our hearts, and that's the one that comes on Christmas. But these are all like Santa's helpers.
It just was so out of left field because every Santa we've seen up until this point was, to him, Santa.
And really what were Santa.
It's not hard to convince kids you look like Santa. Put on a big
Santa
gray
was
beard.
Like had gray. Like Santa's not gray.
He
Santa's
had
white.
black hair.
He had black, and he was like on Ozempic. Boy was skinny as Jesus.
Was snatched.
He was like you as Santa.
I don't get it because Grapevine, the experience has always been top notch. They got the budget Santa this year. They did.
Or he just got on Ozempic. He maybe was Santa from last year.
Or he catfished them. He showed them his online Santa picture, and they're like, "This guy looks great." And he showed up. He showed up, and he looked completely different.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say something.
Don't go.
I know, and you know what I was thinking about too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. But I really Who was your do you have a favorite episode from the season?
Can
you believe like Leanne Morgan, Heather McMahon, all of that was it? I mean, I still
to me,
can't believe.
The one that meant the most to me was interviewing Chase Rice because he has been. We've had this like fangirl relationship with each other. Like he was a big fan of 1883. That's how I got to meet him. I'm a huge fan of his music, but it's always like I'm meeting him backstage after a show. I'm, on the tour bus with all these other people.
You never get to talk.
Never. I didn't know his life story at all. Like I finally got to know somebody who I already considered a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I really like actually can say I'm a friend because I don't know, something about like getting to know his heart and hearing all that stuff because I had no idea. And like, to me, that's kind of the coolest part about the interviews with anybody is like, we're obviously fans of everybody we bring in, but then to really get to know them and, kind of strip
Well, and I
back.
think he was our only one too that people don't get to see him like that. Leanne, Heather, Rumor. I feel like a lot of our guests what we see is what we get.
Yeah.
They're exactly like that in real life.
Totally.
And exactly. So I don't feel like, and most of them have podcasts or things or interviews. He was the first where I was like, wow, this person is extremely, it's not just a musician. He's extremely deep.
Yeah.
Even though all those other people are extremely deep, but we get to see that in them. It's not
100%.
a new thing for fans to see.
So I'm curious, and I really, really, really wanted to wear a Santa hat today, and I'm sorry and disappointed in myself that I didn't.
I actually am too.
But I want to know
Mhm.
your 5 top Christmas movies of all time. Top 3, I know, can be easy for you.
Yeah.
List top 3, and then if you can give me up to 5, I truly, in order from, this is my number 1, to if you can get to 5, but at least 3.
Okay, Elf, number 1.
Okay?
Second is The Holiday.
Okay.
Those are kind of 2 that intertwine. Third, A Christmas Story.
Wow.
You would have guessed those 3 for me, wouldn't you have? Am I missing one? Those are definitely my top 3.
Yeah, those are your top 3.
I can guess yours. Ready? First, A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, okay, so I already thought you were going to say that, so I've categorized that out and put that into Halloween.
Halloween. Okay, good.
Even though, to me, it is a Christmas movie and I watch it during Christmas, but I'm going to just hold that aside. Like
Okay.
true Christmas movies.
Elf is probably your number 1.
Nope.
No?
Elf is number 2.
Okay. God, then what would be I'm trying to think of the Christmas movies.
My favorite that you don't even like, other than Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, it's animation?
No. It is such a staple, but for whatever reason, like, it's not your favorite.
What is it?
Home Alone.
God, I literally forgot about that. as
That's
a
my
Christmas
number
movie.
1 of all time.
I know that. I
Yeah.
should know that.
Number 2 is Elf.
Mhm.
Number 3,
If you say like Die Hard, I'll die.
I've still, to this day, never seen Die Hard.
Yeah, that's so weird. Isn't it Bruce?
What?
Isn't it Bruce Willis?
Oh, yeah. That's like his most, I
Like,
think his most
iconic,
iconic movie
yeah.
of all time. Number 3 for me
Uh-huh.
is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh, there are so
That is-
many good.
That is a
Christmas-
locked in
that is
top 3.
that is
for me.
actually that probably is
So our top
tied.
3 is very different other than Elf.
Yeah, that's
And then here are my final to close out 5.
okay. Mine is 4 is the Santa Claus. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, 4, you wouldn't bump that into 3?
Tied with I really love A Christmas Story.
I
It
still
is very classic. For
have
me.
never seen it from start to finish.
Eric.
It bores me.
And I don't know why. I think because I went to school in Cleveland, and that's where the original house is, and our dog is Ralphie.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing before you had cable. The only movie that played all day on Christmas was A Christmas Story.
You're going to love my 4th.
Is this your 4th or your 5th?
My 4th, because I'm sorry. So Home Alone, Elf, The Santa Claus,
Uh-huh.
and then my next one you're going to love.
What?
It's so good. And you love this movie, you just forgot about it. I'll Be Home for Christmas.
With Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that because I literally was going to say Home Alone is my version of Jonathan Taylor Thomas. One of the best Christmas movies.
So good.
Eric, I can't even tell you, I did stalk him to get him on the podcast. I looked on his IMDb. I tried
He
to
won't
find
do
any.
it.
I tried to find anything to get in contact. He has no manager, nothing. There's like zero
Yeah,
contact.
he left
with the
the
man.
industry. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No, but he did come back for Big Bang Theory.
Okay. Because he's a scientist. He liked that sort of
I know,
sort of
but
thing.
I would do anything. I told you, remember, I used to lie and say he lived in my basement, that he's like my real big brother.
he was it. Jungle
He
to
was
Jungle, Home Improvement.
Gorgeous.
I mean,
Lion King.
and so here's my wild card,
Okay.
which you may have never even seen because it's a boys' Christmas movie, but I loved it growing up, and I
Yeah.
actually want to go now and watch it with Mick because I think he's about old enough. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger
Classic.
and Sinbad.
Oh my. So nobody did it like the 90s Christmas movies.
No.
Those were the best Christmas movies ever. Even like the Disney's original like Christmas movies.
Yep,
So good.
I know.
Like they were so simple. Now everything has to have like such a deep message or like like movies back then, it was so simple.
So you
Actually, can we watch that with the kids tomorrow?
Jingle All the Way?
I have to.
Absolutely. This morning, so you had a party last night. You got home a little late. You woke up early with the kids, then went back to bed while you.
Well, and
when
I
you
will
went,
say, I did only get home. I got home at 10:30. I got home an hour after the kids had gotten home, but I had to do Elf on the Shelf.
No, I know. But after you went back to sleep this morning, Momo came up to me. She's like, "Hey, can we go watch a movie?" I'm like, "Yes." A Christmas movie? She's like, "Yes." I'm like, she's like, "Not Elf. We just did that one." I was like, "How about Home Alone?" She was so excited. We sat down and oh my God, she loved it.
Was she dying laughing?
Dying. She had seen it before with me, but like bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The fact that like he wished his parents to go away and then they went away, she thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. And he's
She's
like,
going to be wishing me to go away.
she goes, next time Sloane's over, and she walks out of the room, she wants to do all the celebration things that Kevin does when his parents leave. Like he jumps on the bed.
Yes.
He does his arms all crazy. She thought it was amazing. So she wants to reenact that when like one of our babysitters is in the other room to
Okay,
pretend.
that is so funny.
I know.
Do you know what I need to do next year too? As I realize this, I didn't realize all the Barbie clothes fit on Elf on a Shelf.
Oh, wow.
So I want to do like themes. I should do like Home Alone and dress them as Home Alone. Like today I did Barbie. Yesterday I did Parent Trap.
I have a question about this Elf on the Shelf thing.
Whoever did it is the most brilliant human being. I spend more money than God on Elf on the
I
Shelf.
think it's a Shark Tank thing. I think it started on Shark Tank.
No.
I think. But here's my question to you. Because you have like a whole display that we don't already own. Are you buying day-to-day entire things for our Elf on the Shelf? Because there's a lot of creativity with what is already in our house we can do.
Yeah.
Like he was pouring the dog food, now the dog food's in there. Or like, got into the cupboard so everything's a mess and he's like, what is the point of buying an entire world every day for the Elf on the Shelf when we have a world in our house?
But you know me. Like gift giving and that kind of stuff is my love language. There's nothing I love more than like a set or like full outfits. I think I've spent more money.
But they don't really care.
Oh, they totally care. They loved my elf camp.
Okay, but don't you think it'd be funnier to be like, he was in Ralphie and Rudy's dog food? Like that would mean something to
Well, I
them.
would love it if you would take over it tonight.
But my point is, I think you've already bought the entire month of like stuff.
No, I think we're okay. My most iconic one that I cannot wait to do is I got the Grinch Elf on a Shelf, and I'm going to replace their Elf on the Shelf with the Grinch Elf on a Shelf.
That's just mean.
I think they will die laughing.
Can I challenge you?
Uh-huh.
This year we're already at Christmas, but next year, don't buy a single thing for Elf on the Shelf.
I don't.
And let's see how creative we can get with everything in our house.
You are going to hate that so much. It's so fun for like 4 days. You realize you have to do it 25 times.
But the simplest thing could be hilarious.
But do you
Like
realize
him
a lot
sitting
of my
on the
stuff,
toilet and like the toilet paper coming into the elf or something.
But I saved all of my kits from last year. I have a huge box. So a lot of it's all recycled from last year. They
That
just
makes
don't
a
remember.
difference. I thought you were doing this like.
No. Most of it's from last year. They just don't remember. That's
Okay.
why I saved everything. I saved every outfit. Like everything that was a lot of the painting stuff was last year.
Okay.
I just reuse a lot of it. They don't remember it.
Okay, that makes sense. If you ever have a day where
I'd love you to do it tonight, but I don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
say
do it.
I'll challenge you to never don't buy anything else for our elves on a shelf. And if you have days where you don't have stuff you've already bought, and let me know so I can do something funny.
Okay, I'd love you to do it tonight.
I can't wait.
Okay.
I've seen so many good videos online, and
It's actually a lot harder than you think. And it's
but
really
I don't think so because they're 3 and 5 and they don't think about it.
well, let me tell you, and I'm doing it for @ElfOnAShelf, the Instagram.
No, you've killed it.
I am doing
That's why
it
I
for
want
them.
you to live out everything you've bought already
know.
to do. So do all that you've already bought. But if you have days that you don't have stuff you've bought for,
Okay.
let me do
I'd
something
love
in the
you to do
house.
it tomorrow because it's always on school days. I don't like to do too much because then we want to like play with it or you know what I mean? And she has school tomorrow.
Yeah.
So tomorrow would be a perfect day for you to do it. Because it needs to be enough, but not too much. Like I have a whole philosophy of why I do the things I do.
Yeah. No, it's great. And you've killed it. And you've even got
And
recognized.
sometimes I like really enjoy it though. It really is something a lot of parents don't like. I really enjoy it. it brings me a lot of joy.
I know, but
It's
I also
annoying,
don't
but I
want
like
you
to
to
do
be
it.
stressed like having to buy 25 days of activities for these elves on a shelves to be pretend doing in our house. Like, that's just another added thing to
You
worry
know what's
about.
even harder though? It's not even doing 2 elves. It's now I have to do 5. I have to do the 3 extra characters because Molly Morgan loves when the 3 extra characters, the reindeer, the fox, and the Saint Bernard, are included in the activities.
Well, this
That's
is what
been
I'm
the
saying.
hardest.
This is what I'm saying. It's getting, you could alleviate one more thing to not have to think about this
I
holiday
know.
season. Why wouldn't you?
You know what's really weird? And I think about this all the time. And my mom is like me. That kind of stuff is what I want my kids to remember. And I know you're going to be opposite. Yours going to be like more of y'all playing or doing things like that. I guess because I was raised like that, things like that to me, like how my mom made it so special or how my mom went like above and beyond. That I guess for me, that's what I want them to remember. How like mom always just did the craziest things or mom always like did the biggest parties for us and just, but for you, that doesn't matter.
If you can and you've got, great, power to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And like for me playing in like the bathroom, doing makeup and I just wish I was that. I'm not as much of I am a cuddler. I'm a little bit of a cuddler, but I love like big moments, like singing that when you were out of town and I had put on the Pink, we stayed up till midnight singing and doing music videos in our bathroom.
oh, I love that.
I think that's more my
I love
cup
that.
of tea.
But that same. I mean, but that costs $0. Those are just family memories
Yeah.
we're making inside the house. And you're not thinking about it. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
That was my point, was like going out of your way, stressing to be like, oh, I have to buy this for this day and this for like, that's so much to organize.
Yeah, but I'm not stressed. I have a box and I just whatever, because your mom was like, do you have each planned every night? And I'm like, no, it's whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah,
I don't ever have a plan. I just kind of like what I'm feeling at that time. And if the kids are asleep, I can do a lot more if the kids are asleep. But if they're awake, I have to be really quick about it
Yeah.
because they sleep with us.
It's been an unorganized couple months, but
Unorganized. They slept with us the past 5 years.
not Momo. She always goes to her bed. Just me,
Yeah,
just
but
me.
she has to have a sleep with her. It's not like she stays in there all night.
No. Like we have to put her to bed until she falls asleep and then we leave.
And then we sneak out, and then an hour later, I have to be back in there. So it's not like I'd rather her be in our bed and me not go up and down her stairs 155 times a night.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's all. You're right. You're right. But you know
YOLO.
what? When I turn over in the middle of the night and I see their little faces, it makes
Oh
me
my
happy.
God.
I don't care.
When I came home, I walked into the bedroom, and it was you and the 2 kids, and Momo had her mouth open with her missing tooth. Mick had both hands behind his thing, and you were all snuggled up. My very favorite is when I come in and you and Mick both have your leg outside the blanket. You and him both do that.
Listen, we had 7 straight years of marriage together before
Marriage,
children.
not even like
Privacy.
yes.
Whatever we wanted to do at all times. 7 years.
I know.
So now to have
Way
a couple
more than
years.
that was married.
And so, but like people's issue with it is like, oh, they lost their privacy in their
Yeah.
bedroom. Like, we've had 7 years of that. A couple years of getting extra love in the bed from our kids, like with snuggles and stuff. Like, I'm cool with sacrificing.
And like kind of sad. Like the only privacy you get is in the bedroom. Like
No,
come
but like
on.
that's people's argument. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, keep it your parent thing and that's a kid's
I
thing. But I'm
know.
like, y'all, give me these 5 years of like ultimate cuddles or 6, 7, whatever it's going to be, because one day they're going to wake up and want nothing to do with us like that. So then we'll go back to being exactly like we were
I
before.
know. And we'll be
And-
begging them to come sleep with us.
And we'll be begging them and they won't. And life will be great. So I've now come to the conclusion within the 5 seconds of us talking about this that we're going to continue and it's going to be fine because it brings me that much joy and you.
Mhm.
And we know that we'll go back to, the way things were eventually.
Yeah.
And we spend so much time at hotels and stuff anyway. It's not like we don't get like whatever.
well,
time.
and they're like showers and other places.
Yeah, it's
like,
so
we're good.
It's so good. It's so
We're great.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
My kids sleep with me. I can say it. I
No,
feel like it's such a stigma. Like it's like
I don't because I feel like everybody, the people that judge, like they end up doing it. Like everybody ends up with a child in their bed at some point.
At some point.
So it's like
it's
who
either us
cares?
up and down all night going into their bed, putting them back
Yeah.
to sleep, or actually sleeping.
And you know what the difference is too? A lot of families, if They are in the sense where they only have to work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
They have dinner as a family. We don't do that. Our jobs are kind of all over the place. So at nighttime, that's our special time with our kids.
100%.
And in the bed, after everything's calm, that's like my favorite memories in the entire world with our kids are all of us in bed talking or being silly or watching a movie or talk. Like all of it revolves around the bed. And that's how I grew up. We all would be in the bed.
Like the Chrisleys. The end of every episode, they all get in pajamas and get in
their
their bed.
jail.
No, that is so wild to me.
It is baffling to me. It
So
makes me
wild.
so sad. And you know, Savannah, she's raising her little sister or her niece.
I know. It's like, your dad called it.
I know.
Somehow he knew. He was like, oh, he's a crook. It's like, what do you mean? Like, how did he know?
I know.
Remember? He called it way before.
Yeah, I know. So weird.
There must be a word in the business world or something.
Yeah.
Love that family, though. Like, made some wrong choices in the past, but God, they're great.
It's real. You know what it is, too? And it's what we kind of talked about with Courtney and Tori. There is no growth phase anymore. People just want to see, like, you at top. Even housewives. It's like, you're getting paid nothing, but you have to spend more money. Like, I mean, you know this. Like, I was in debt because it's like to keep up with how much you have to do are new clothes, new outfits, and it's so stupid, but you feel like you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you can
That's the
get
culture.
yourself in trouble.
100%.
And I can see what's baffling to me is lying on taxes. I actually don't even know how that's even possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense to me. I really don't even. You have to be so freaking smart. And if you are that smart to be able to do that, then like be smart enough to make that money.
You're always gonna get caught. I don't get
I
the
just
whole
don't even get how it's even
tax
possible.
evasion thing.
Yeah.
It's so possible. You just don't claim certain things and like don't turn. It's like, but you make money. You have to let the government know what you made.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I guess we've never made enough where it's like, why would you even not want to? Like, it's so weird to me. Because don't you too, if you make a lot of money, you get benefits as well too. So why would you want to not claim things? You're just overspending.
What?
Like, isn't it too, if you make a certain amount of money, you can write a certain amount off. You make money in a sense. Why would you not claim things? Like, why would you even want to do that?
I'm lost, but
Okay.
To clear what maybe your confusion is, it's because you have to then pay more taxes, so they're saving money on paying taxes.
I thought the more you make, the less. Isn't that nowadays?
No, you got to pay taxes no matter what.
Well, I know that. But I thought, like, if you're in a certain, isn't that the whole big thing that is like people always
There are tax brackets.
Yeah.
But that's not going to change it.
You still make a fortune. Yeah.
You still have to pay a lot of
Fortune.
taxes.
Yeah.
But
just like pay your taxes.
do you know? Do you know who Bill Belichick is?
Of course.
Who?
He is a football coach, used to be a famous NFL football coach, and now he's going to be playing a football coach for college. And the first game of TCU is against Bill Belichick. You're welcome. Was he the Buffalo Bills?
No,
Who was
absolutely
he?
not. New England Patriots. He
Patriots.
is
I knew he was
the
so
Tom
cute.
Brady dynasty is Bill Belichick. So Bill Belichick has more rings, Super Bowl wins than any
And
coach,
who is he going?
any coach in history. He's got 6 as a head coach with the New England Patriots, and then 2 as an assistant head coach for the Giants back in the day. So
And now he's
got,
going to South Carolina.
He's got 8. No, close. He's going to go to college now to coach for UNC, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, I knew it was one of the Carolinas.
Which is really cool. He got a $10 million deal for 5 years.
Jesus Christ.
And but here's the crazy part. Do you know about his love life?
No.
So he's dating very publicly now a 24-year-old. He's 72.
Are you really kidding?
They met when she was in college. And she was a former college cheerleader. They met on an airplane ride. He signed her like textbook, her college textbook, and like they kept in touch and like started dating. And he started seeing her. And he's been retired from I'm sorry. He has not been retired, but he's been seeing her during like the last 2 years quietly, but now they've been very public. She posts about him all over her
disgusting.
Instagram. Yeah. 70,
If I was a college, I wouldn't even hire him for that reason. That's disgusting.
it is a little crazy. I was curious to know what you thought on that.
No, that is actually the most disgusting thing. And baby boy, like, she does not love you.
Go look at like their Halloween picture together. Like she's a mermaid, he's like a fisherman, like
That
reeling
is-
her in. It is the most cringe thing you have ever seen.
Okay,
in
maybe if he's
your-
in his 70s, I get, okay, maybe 40s. Like, that's a huge age gap. But still, it's like, that is disgusting.
Go look at their pictures
I'm
together.
disappointed in North Carolina for hiring him, knowing that he can, because he's going to leave this girl for another college kid.
I mean, you don't know, but it is a
But I
little
know.
bizarre. But it's funny because if you watch the Tom Brady roast, they all roasted him on it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, like I remember Gronk said something about like, hey, I remember like we always thought it was weird that you had this fascination with like such and such high school's football team, and Gronk's like, but now I realize you were just going to the high school football team games to scout the cheerleaders.
That is sick. That's not even funny.
I know
That's gross.
It's something.
That really does gross me out. That
I
is
know.
so sick.
I know.
And it's not like he's 70 something. It's not like he's in his 50s.
No, yeah, he's 72.
Even his 50s.
They have a
I'm sorry, that's gross.
48-year difference.
That is disgusting. That could be his granddaughter. That is
Oh, yeah.
so freaking sick.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
sorry. I don't care what you think about Bill Belichick. That like makes me disrespect him. That is so disgusting. Even now, looking back, having a daughter, I would never let Molly Morgan date a senior when she's a freshman. The life difference of a freshman and a senior, an 18-year-old young man and a 14-year-old girl, that is disgusting to me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But I mean, we all did it. It's like all you want to do is like, but even thinking about how a high schooler senior boy would be interested in a freshman girl or vice versa is bizarre. to
Yeah,
me.
that's
That's
crazy.
disgusting.
But she's 24 now, and she's a woman. She makes her own choices, and she's obviously very much enjoying this lavish lifestyle she's getting from him. I hope there's some love in their hearts for each other, but it's just kind of
She loves that money, honey.
hard to wrap my head around. But I urge you, I beg you, go look at their photos together because it just doesn't like it's kind of funny.
There's like a rock star recently he's only 54, and I thought that was disgusting. And he's with a 19-year-old Eric. It was all over Daily Mail. It was some
Wow.
band guy, a big
That is
famous
more
musician.
fitting though, like rock stars,
like,
sex, drugs,
19,
and rock
Eric.
and roll.
I looked at her at like 19.
No,
That is sick.
that's way
you can't
crazy.
even drink.
That's way crazy.
The whole thing is sick.
But
I'm like,
if there
just
was gonna
find people
be-
your own age.
But like, if there was gonna be a profession or something, like okay, a rock star, like if there's gonna be somebody to do that, maybe that could be
Yeah.
it. But the most legendary of all time coaches are, you just picture them to be these model citizens and and it's just kind of like, ugh.
Well, and definitely, I think football, there's a lot of sense, especially I feel like in high school and college football, a sense of Christianity. Like it's a lot of prayer, at least in Texas. It seems
Yeah,
like it's a very,
definitely.
like you pray before games. It's a very community team of prayer. I always said like the kneeling when somebody gets injured. That was kind of like in a sense, you're all praying and giving respect. It's a very, not
Even as a
holy.
player who all these players are dating the most beautiful people. It's like, oh, all those times he was with my girlfriend, like
Ugh.
he's actually into young
Or
women.
with my
like,
kids. That would disgust
yeah,
me.
it's so weird. It's so weird.
Well,
you know
that's disappointing to
yeah.
hear.
Do you know the game Fortnite? You've heard of that?
Of course.
Yeah, these kids stream it. Like they make all this money.
Mhm.
They are in big trouble. They got in a huge lawsuit and they have to pay out $245 million. That's what it was settled on
Mhm.
to all these players that played the game because they were charging them like these coins in the game that did nothing. Like they were
Wow.
making, like they confused you into buying certain things while you were playing.
Of course.
And it came out that like those things did nothing. So all of this money they have, listen to this.
How much?
It's $245 million.
Woo, baby.
72 million is being paid out as we speak.
Okay.
And we've got 629,344 claims so far to get money. So if you played this game between January of 2017 and September of 2022 and ever paid $1 through the game,
Yeah.
you're entitled to money.
Which I bet is like the highest, especially that was all COVID too. That's like when people, wasn't Joe making money?
Oh yeah,
Fortnite, like-
everybody was like streamers and stuff. But
Yes.
like, and the payout's $114 right now.
Woo. Woo, man, get that money, honey.
But, it's like all these kids that were like,
But now what if you've spent way more money? It doesn't matter. You're still getting $114?
No, I think it's going to vary and stuff like that. But like the general payout so far has been $114, and they're sending you PayPal and checks. And if you have played
so
Fortnite, public service announcement, PSA.
PSA.
If you have played Fortnite between January 2017 and September 2022 and have spent money on the platform, you are entitled to your payout. Go to ftc.gov/Fortnite to get your claim in and get your money.
Amen.
That's crazy.
That is crazy, but like not even kind of worth it for $100.
I know. But I think for kids, it's like, oh, yeah, fight the system. Let me get it back.
Love a good fight of the system.
I would have done it if I was 18.
I know you would have. You'd probably do it now if you played.
Probably would.
You love a good get money back.
Probably would. Okay, you sent me this, and I had already known that it was possibly in the works. It's a little bit crazy to me because to me, it's one of the most perfect movies made. It's iconic, and I'm really, really, really upset they're remaking it. It's like you don't remake The Godfather. You don't remake Scarface. You don't remake Fight Club. You don't remake American Psycho. You don't do it.
I know, but if it's done right, and
it's my top 5 movies of all time.
Austin Butler, I feel like after Elvis, he's very particular about what he does. I really do think if it's done right, it's going to be brilliant. Because I had actually never watched American Psycho until I met you. Like, I think it could be a lot of people's first time watching it.
It's so good. It's based off a novel. It takes place in the 80s. And this is filthy rich stockbroker on Wall Street who's like the epitome of like narcissism and like have to like get to a certain level to be a certain person. It's like he has his perfect routine. His body's perfect. His hair's perfect. And at night, he's this sociopathic, violent killer, bloody. Like, it's like the most amazing transition. But Christian Bale plays the role so perfectly, and it's so perfectly done. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch American Psycho with Christian Bale.
Yeah,
it's like
amazing.
a young Jared Leto, Willem Dafoe, Reese Witherspoon, Chloe Sevigny. I mean, the cast is insane. But they're remaking it with Austin Butler as the lead. I will say, if there's anybody to do it, I think Austin Butler is the perfect choice.
I agree. Especially right now. Or do you know who else would be good?
Like, thank God it's not Timmy Chalamet. Thank God it's not like Barry Keoghan or Kogan. Like, those just, they're amazing, amazing, amazing actors, but not right.
You know who I think actually would have been really good and very interesting choice besides Austin Butler? But I think Austin Butler's more of that, like, handsome. Like, I don't find Christian Bale very handsome. Like, that time period, everyone thought he was the most. Austin Butler's more the handsome of our generation, like that kind of handsome. I really think that guy who played it, what's his name?
Oh, Skarsgård.
I think he would have actually been really great as that role.
He doesn't have the look, though. He doesn't have.
Oh, I think he's handsome. The young one, I think he's got such a, like, I think he's most. I think he's got a cool look.
Because it has to be the unassuming, the unexpected.
Yes,
like,
but he reminds me more of a Christian Bale. Like, I don't find Christian Bale handsome. So that's maybe the thing is I think Christian Bale has, but whenever I think of Christian Bale, all I think about is him when he played that skinny character.
Oh, the machinist.
All I can think about. So in my mind, that's all I picture him as. Always.
Okay.
Like, I don't find him gorgeous to me.
You don't see like the Bruce Wayne in him? Like,
no.
He's Batman.
No, I don't find him that. I think of Ben Affleck and those guys more of the handsome. I don't know why. I've just never thought that look is very handsome.
Because he's always played grittier roles too. I mean, you know, his range has been so vast since day one that I could see that. I mean, but he is a leading man and always has been.
I know, but I guess because he's not my version of like the handsome guy, the leading man, that I just don't see that.
Yeah.
And Austin definitely has a more sweet of a face. He doesn't have as harsh of features as Christian Bale does. So it'll be interesting if he like loses weight and tries to like.
And I haven't seen Austin Butler do the psychopath yet. I haven't seen that switch in him that it's like, I'm scared of you. Like an actor that can make you feel like holy, S-H-I-T.
Like you can do that so well. I actually think Austin's going to kill it because the way he transforms, he like gets weird about characters. The way he transforms into characters like Elvis, that he like talks like Elvis.
Yeah.
I really think he's going to do that for this.
I can't wait. I mean, I don't want this movie, I'm publicly saying this, I don't want this to happen. But now that it is, I can't wait to actually see what he does with it.
Me too. I will be very, very interested to see what he does.
As a like his next Oscar. You know what I mean? Like it has to be that kind of performance.
Oh my God, there's nothing better. I just love a good movie or series. Like I love watching people like Ari. And I just think the way she did Glinda, and somebody said they were listening to our podcast.
Is it Galinda or Glinda?
Well,
Because her on SNL, I just watched her episode last
Galinda.
night. She was saying Galinda.
It's Galinda, but remember,
I don't like that.
She changes her name.
Oh.
She'd be in solidarity to the goat. Oh, in solidarity to the goat, she changes her name like at the 3/4 in to Glinda because
Oh my God.
the goat could never say Galinda. So she's like Glinda. She changed it in solidarity to him.
Thank God you said that because I was like,
Was it driving you
I
crazy?
was really struggling last night watching her do SNL, which she was amazing, but she kept saying Galinda. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. I don't like that. It's Galinda,
No, it is actually Galinda.
but it changes. Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah. But somebody said to me, they were like, I agree. They said last night they would listen to our podcast and was like, that was so, I always liked Ari, but watching her really transform herself, it's so respectful because she really didn't have, and the way she fought for that role and has been campaigning for that role since she was a little girl is so deserved.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tom Holland did the same thing as Spider-Man. Like he was, from a very young age, was like, I'm Spider-Man. I'm playing Spider-Man.
Well, that's how you are with, who is it?
Hmm?
Kurt Cobain. You
Oh,
have
yeah, I would
campaigned
love
for
to.
that
Yeah.
since the beginning.
They dropped today. I didn't even know they were making this. They dropped today a Dallas Cowboys documentary.
You have to watch it.
That it's called America's Team, and Netflix is doing it. It looks. They just dropped the trailer. Go watch it. America's Team. It looks It's not out yet. They just dropped the trailer.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
When are they dropping it? I'm shocked they're not dropping it at Thanksgiving or something. That's like very Thanksgiving-esque.
Yeah.
But we need some good press, so they actually are smart to do that.
But it's like through the beginning, through now. Everybody from Aikman to you name it is on this. And it's like Jerry Jones is narrating a lot of it, but it's like, he's like 365 days a year. This is a soap opera. Wait, they're taking you behind the curtains of like
no.
what, an organization and the dynasty of America's favorite team. But it looks like it's in a great light.
Yeah.
Like it looks
Oh, good.
unbelievable.
Well, and I mean, wasn't Netflix the one that brought back the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader? So I think Netflix obviously has some massive deal with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're smart because
They're so smart.
They're raking in more money than anybody else. The Cowboys, even though they're one of the worst teams in the league, they still make way more than the best teams in the league.
Do you also think that is because of Texans? I think Texans, we ride so hard for our teams. Like if that was any other place besides Texas, I don't think people would ride as hard as they do.
I'm hoping that in this documentary, they explain how the term America's Team came to be, because I think the Cowboys named themselves that, and then the country just like jumped onto
Well,
it.
wasn't it probably Emmitt Smith, Troy? I feel like it had to been those guys.
I
'Cause
mean-
that's what I mean, they were movie stars.
Of course.
I mean,
but I
and-
mean, like, what a brilliant campaign to one day call yourselves America's best team, America's favorite team, and then that's how the world knows
But
you.
I wonder if that was before, because they always get the Thanksgiving game, no matter what. So I wonder if they did that before they got the Thanksgiving game.
I
or-
hope that's all
Yeah.
in there.
Actually, that's great. What a great thing to bring up.
You know what I mean?
I'm so interested, actually.
What do you think about this?
Okay.
I just saw this online, and this is a real deal thing. Miller High Life, the beer,
Mhm.
Miller High Life, launched Miller High Life Dive Bar Fume.
Perfume?
High Life is bringing that dive bar scent you know and love to your home with a scent, like a perfume, like a cologne.
But a cologne or a house spray? Like a home
No,
scent?
cologne for you for the body.
So you want to smell like
A
stinky
dive
after
bar.
the bar.
How do you feel about that?
Disgusting. But I will buy it. So brilliant marketing. They're doing it for, like, I would totally buy that.
It's a
just to
Miller
know.
High Life cologne or
You've got to be
perfume.
doing that as like, I mean, it's actually, okay, this
But
is,
they're releasing it, so you can smell
no, but,
like a dive bar.
but it's brilliant though, because I will buy it. So will you.
That's so funny.
I was just thinking about this. I was
Mhm.
thinking about my stockings and businesses and your businesses. There is no such thing. Okay, stockings. You buy a stocking and then it's usually back in the day, it's like they keep repeating the same things. Nowadays, unless you hit it probably in that first 2-week span, you're not going to hit it again. Our world moves so fast. I was just thinking about that. I was like, we move so fast. If I've seen it within those first 2 weeks, I'm already over it.
Of what?
Anything, clothes, everything. It's like you have to constantly reinvent. To have a store that carried the same things, like growing up, it's like they always carried the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
That's very true.
I was just thinking, because I was thinking about the stockings and how I can make things better. And I'm constantly trying to reinvent something. And I'm like, you'll never hit it again like you do those first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Any brand, no matter what the brand is.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, that's it.
Yep.
So I was thinking, I was like, are you better off?
Your only hope after that is a major influencer being seen in it, and then it like has to surge again.
A surge again, yes. But very rarely does that. It is so weird. I'm so sorry, but I was thinking about that earlier because I was like, are you better off not making a lot of stock and just redoing things like every 3 months, like bringing out a new thing every 3 months?
Yes.
And having less stock.
Yes. And that's going to be our model moving forward. We're going to do like a t-shirt drop every month.
Yes.
Of a new shirt. Like,
but you know what's so sad though? Because if, especially all these people that are doing their clothing or things out of country, it's so much more expensive.
Yeah.
Because you're doing small quantities. If you're doing bulk, it's so much easier. It's less expensive.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I was just thinking about it. I was like, that is so freaking hard. Like, you really can't reinvent anything or have a store. If I have seen it, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
And it was so sad as one of the brands I wear, I had bought a coat.
That's why I'm saying the only way to keep it fresh is to see it on somebody you admire and like. And you're like, oh, it's still fresh. Oh, it's still cool. Oh, people are still wearing it.
But
oh,
most
good.
of the time they won't. That's the sad part.
I know, but that,
Like
you know.
even an influencer, they'll only do it like within the first month. You're not gonna see them. They're never gonna post about it. Maybe they'll wear it.
Yeah,
but they're not gonna post about it.
I agree. So your hope is like they fall in love with the brand, they fall in love with the designer or the story, and they stick with it because they've chosen that as like, I will always have their new stuff. That is my go-to, you know?
Yeah, but a lot of the time it's like I'm always trying to find the new thing.
But you are very specific and very different. I will wear the same jeans.
But a guy,
I won't buy any other jeans but this brand.
Well, yeah, that's a guy, but a girl, because I'm thinking for me, like for my stuff, I'm constantly, because I'll post something enough where I'm like, oh, well, then my friends are wearing it now. Now I need to find the next
Yeah,
thing.
that's the difference between guys and girls.
Yes. But
we don't care,
how
y'all do.
messed up is that?
Yeah.
I was just thinking how freaking hard. I was going to say this, and I forgot if I said it on the show. Being a small business owner, and I've watched my girlfriends and the freaking hustle. And you've even said this, like you were like, well, y'all already bought by Neiman's, and I'm constantly doing events for Neiman's. It's not that easy. Just because a huge brand buys you, you have to keep the numbers. You have to keep I mean, being a business owner in retail and any small business is just freaking hard. And I just want to give a respect to all these people on Etsy. And now you're seeing people. No, it really is. It is so extremely.
I'm not making fun. I'm 100%. I'm applauding.
I'm really blown away by these people because it is so extremely. And I am privileged in the sense of a brand that I first started with is in Neiman's. But I'm still doing a lot of hustle. But I can't imagine like the debt and I just so much respect to small businesses. It really is. I am truly baffled because now I'm knowing being in the space of retail, it's so incredibly hard.
It is. But what a blessing to live in this country to where anyone can open up a small business and really, you know what I mean? Like we have so many, like there's, we just live in this amazing, amazing place where it's like we have the resources. It's out there. You just have to put in the work.
Yes, but you're also competing with way more many people. Like most people don't have a store. No one really has a storefront anymore. To have a storefront is almost like, so you're competing against it's like what we said before. Well, now you're a small fish in a ginormous pond instead of being a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Now everybody has a pond.
It's true. You just gotta go. It's insane. It really is insane.
No, it really, because I've always been an actor and ours is hard in a different sense. You know what I mean? You're kind of used to always getting told no and used to always kind of hustling. But I don't know. It really is. I just been thinking about it nonstop because I'm just always trying to reinvent, not myself, but so much of my brand and what I want to bring. And I was talking to my mentor and I was just like, I am so, like, I know I'm going to fail. Like, I know you can't always have a hit. Period. That's just, you will have a season that fails of your brand. The biggest brands have seasons that aren't their best seasons. That's just life. And it's not daunting, but just knowing how hard you have to work and knowing that it might not hit. And you have to do things so in advance, like it might be over by then.
Yeah, that's
By
why
the
you gotta.
time
That's
you
why you gotta.
release
You
it-
gotta love what you do.
I know.
Or it's not even worth it.
Sorry to go off on a tangent.
Did
but
you see they finally announced when 1923 is going to premiere? I get asked
No.
every single day. February 23rd. It's happening. 1923 coming back. So stop asking me.
Yeah, I know. I love when people ask us like we have the answers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Because I worked on one. That means I know about all of them.
I know. Well, and I'm like, half the time the cast doesn't even know. So
No.
why are you asking people that aren't even in that cast? We don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But it's happening February 23rd, and I can't wait to see my good friend JP on this season.
Who's the most special human? I have got to watch Landman.
So do I. But let's close this out. We've got to run.
I know.
Everybody
I'm about to
have
in my
an
pants.
amazing holiday. All of our small business friends that are working their tushes off. Thank you for what you do. We see you. We admire
And
you.
try to
Go
last
support.
minute gifts.
Go support
small businesses.
Because we're in that category now. But love you all.
Wait, Glamour and your grit.
I know.
Final.
I'm just having a moment.
Oh, sorry. Ruined it.
I love you all. So no, I'm just kidding. It's been great. Glamour and Grit is, babe. I don't know. Go.
My Glamour is one hell of a season.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Never in 1,000 years would I guess we could talk to Margaret Josephs, Heather Dubrow, Courtney, Leanne Morgan, Chase Rice. I mean, the
And
list
another
goes on.
huge shout out to all of our sponsors that have carried us through these seasons. I mean,
Wait, we need to
everybody.
go. All right, Texas Health, Cowgirl Museum, Tecovas,
Visit Fort
La
Worth.
Polga, Visit Fort Worth, Casa Manana, Clinic Concierge,
Tecovas. Ranch.
Oh my God,
Ranch Hands.
Truck.
I mean,
We are so grateful and thank you for believing in us. And we've had so much fun. And the beauty is with us, we use it, we love it. Unfortunately, I use Texas Health all too often. Even though they are a huge hospital, we use them all the time.
and sorry, I cut you off on your Glamour and Grit. This season is your Glamour coming to a close. Your
Yes,
Grit.
and it was my grit is, you know what? I really don't have a grit right now.
Glamour is getting.
Oh, my grit is I'm about to pee my pants.
Oh yes, let's go to the bathroom. Christmas is coming next week. Can't wait. My mom's in town. So happy. We're just having so much joy right now. My siblings are here. It's just been
Our
phenomenal.
families are the best.
The
Oh my
best,
God.
the best. We're
love
both
them
so
so much.
close with our families, and our families are close. It's a dream.
No, it is a dream.
It's how I grew up. I'm so glad this is how my kids are growing up. And my grit is it's the year is coming to a close, and now my brain is already going to like, how do I make next year the best year? How do I top this
I
last year?
know.
Like my brain's already starting to be like, well, I did this that year. I have to do more this next year. So like,
I know.
good to be thinking like bigger, but also very gritty and hard to be like, oh, now I'm stressed.
I know. Like, how can I go better than?
Why don't I just take it day by day? Why am I already thinking about
know.
it? You know,
But we're that personality type too. Like, we're never content. We always have to like go.
gotta have more. Thank you guys. Love
Thank you
love
guys
love
so
you.
much. We love y'all.
We'll be
Thank
back.
you for sticking with us.
Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back soon.
Glamour.
Grit.
Glamour. Grit.